guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister and this is the weekly forecast for Sunday, October 17th through Saturday, October 23rd. So this is a collective reading. But before I get started, I just want to make a quick announcement for you guys about a discount that I'm offering on readings. So I offer birth chart readings, I offer tarot card readings, and a combination of both. A birth chart reading is really going to tell you like what your purpose in life is, what environments you find yourself in, what your fate or destiny is in this life. Like the astrology birth chart gives you a snapshot of that. And I also look at transit. So I also look at what is coming up for you, what's going to be happening so that you can be better prepared for it and handle it. And with tarot cards, now tarot cards can do the same thing. They can predict things for you, but tarot cards tend to be better for like advice. Like if you want specific advice on something, want to know what to do, tarot cards are generally giving more of an answer to that, tapping in to our spirit guides, helping us out, versus a birth chart reading is more like, what is the blueprint, for my fate or my destiny? And so as far as the discount goes, I'm offering now $20 off your first reading with me. And that offer is good through December 31st, 2021. And you can get that discount on book a reading by going to valentinelister.com. And when you go to book your reading, make sure to enter the discount code 20 bucks, and that's $20 off your very first reading with me. I'm also going to put that info down in the description below underneath the timestamp so that you can snag it. All right, so we'll start off with Sunday, October 17th. We have Sun square Pluto. So this is interesting, right? Because we have Pluto. Pluto is a planet of death and transformation, and it's been making changes in our comfort zone, our way of doing things, our traditions and like institutions and the traditional ways that we do things. And it's in a square to the sun in Libra. But the interesting thing is that we have a lot of elements happening that are making us very sleepy. It's going to make Sunday very sleepy, like almost like a dream state, because we have the waxing gibbous moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune, which is that moon, that decan is like this really beautiful, like dreamy, happy, like wish come true, and really is very emotional. And is really trying to like connect people and things together. But we have this element of like deception going on too. And maybe also I'm thinking a lack of energy, because as I'm doing this reading, I notice I'm feeling like this huge lack of energy and everybody around me. So we're almost like in this sleepy dream state. And part of that could be we have two planets that are slowing down and stationing. So we have Jupiter stationing that day, and that's that planet that like helps us like make connections and things and like put everything together and really feel like there's some purpose and meaning to life, like putting it all together. And that's hosting that moon in Pisces. And then we also have Mercury. It's slowing down to station. It'll be stationing this week, later this week. So it's not the most active Mercury. So we have these two very sluggish planets. And Mercury is the sign of like planning things out, organizing things, technology, communication, really strategizing, making negotiations and contracts, affecting relationships there. And so our ability to communicate and really be clear is going to like slow down and be like non-existent. And you may find by Sunday, like you can't even really think straight or plan or organize. So overall, until we get to the full moon later this week, it's a good time to like take a nap and relax, because you're just not going to get any wind in your sails for really getting things done. It's like really a time that's like a dreamy time, a time to reflect, right? Mercury retrograde is good for reflecting. Take a chill pill. We have that Venus in Sagittarius like hosting Mercury. So before we had like the Venus in Scorpio giving us the pressure to kind of push through things and transform them. But Venus in Sagittarius is like let's just relax. So there's so many elements. I feel like there's so much going on for Sunday and for a few days, like the next few days, there's just so many transits going on and happening. And so I'm thinking that there's a lot of inner reflection and a lot of mental work going on, because like there will be this feeling of like I have so many ideas I want to implement and so many things I want to see happen, but I just don't have the juice or the energy to like put them through. And so that change or transformation happening on Sunday with Sun square Pluto, maybe more on a mental level, on what we want to see happen in our relationships, as far as like, you know, with the sun in Libra, the sun represents like leaders, right? Fathers, people in power. So it could relate to spouses, fathers, bosses, leaders, politicians, and also like, again, our partners, our relationships, or overall in general, like the actions that we want to take in life. And with Sun in Libra, they want to make things beautiful. They want to connect with other people, make everything like pleasant and lovely. So it may be this idea of how can I make things like more pleasant and lovely in my life, and how can I smooth things over and make things nicer. There has been a lot of like tension type energy, especially like with Saturn. And we have Saturn in Aquarius with like a very, you know, it's a very strong Saturn in Aquarius. So we have to watch out for, I think, on Sunday and like the day before, the day out after, having too rigid expectations of others about how they should act, how they should behave, because that's changing. So one of the things with the Sun square Pluto is that, you know, we have an idea of how we want people to act, how we want our relationships to be, what's just, what's fair, like what should be happening. And even, you know, in our society, what's just and what's fair. You know, how can we like put forth our ideas and connect with other people and have relationships and have societies that really work and are fair and are just for everybody, and how we can speak up like for ourselves, right? Because there's a lot of like, you know, Sun in Libra is a sign of communication, mental energy, and the law. And so we want to make changes in that. But then the structure of our society itself has been changing and the traditions have been changing. So we're not getting this really like clear idea on like how people should act or what people, you know, like what should be happening, because there's so much change. And there's nothing really grounding that. And I'm just going to pull a card because like this day was a little bit curious to me as well, with like there's just a lot of stuff going on that day, which is why I'm spending so much time Sun in Pluto. And I feel like there's a lot going on with the transits until the full moon happening in Aries this week. So for the next couple days after Sunday. And then things will like calm down a little bit. You know, it's almost like, you know, with Mars, it's like we got to have a big show, big fight or whatever, big conflicts. With Moon in Aries, like that fighting energy. Okay, so for that Sunday, October 17th, we have the Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is clearly Knight of Wands. When you get this, it's clearly a lack of energy, and you're probably going to see that definitely in yourself, but in other people too. So like we're going to see other people in our lives, people who are usually assertive. This is like a masculine energy. So really go out there. We're going to see like their balloons deflate, and really just this lack of energy. So you'll probably feel like this Knight of Wands, but you're going to see other people like that. And you're going to deal with like irritability with other people in your lives. Could be like a young male figure or young figure with like a masculine, like go type energy. And so we're probably going to have some crankiness with other people around us. Like I said, that Mercury rules temperament, and we have that Jupiter. Like we're trying to connect the dots with that beautiful Pisces moon, trying to put the pieces together of life and nurturing in our environment, ourselves and other people. But there's really this like disillusionment. It's probably because these planets stationing again, and then Neptune in the mix. So really feeling disillusioned, really tired. So really take good care of yourself Sunday. Take a nap, watch shows, write, create, or just like literally plan to do nothing. Okay, so then with Monday, October 18th, we have Mars trine Jupiter, and that's happening around 10:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's just really like this, a lot of like continuation of that energy we saw Sunday, that sleepy energy. So it might be hard to get moving that Monday because we have Mercury actually stationing to go direct, which is nice because when it goes direct, we kind of feel like an ease. It's going to go direct around the full moon. So after that full moon, we're going to feel like this release of energy and like we can finally go. So again, like Monday, we want to reflect, dream, take it easy on ourselves. Now, if you have things to do, you have things to do. Like you can't avoid it, but make sure to go slow, take it easy, be reflective. Don't put a lot of expectations on yourself. Again, you're the sailboat and you're not really going to have a lot of that like wind in the sails, like pushing you forward. It's going to be difficult. And so also like with this Mars in Libra, trining Jupiter, it's more of a socializing energy. So it's more of an energy of like connecting with other people. It's in that Jupiter decan. And so it's a great time also, like if you want to like connect with friends of yours, good friends, you know, I know Mercury is stationing and it's, you know, still from retrograde. But, you know, like Jupiter and Mars are both in air signs, Jupiter in Aquarius, Mars in Libra. And so connecting with friends or connecting with people close to you that really know you, where you're not going to be able to miscommunicate or have things go wrong, you know, people you really trust, it's a good time, you know, to connect with them and to really, yeah, be around people that you trust. So Mars, you know, taking action, it's the planet of taking action and how we assert ourselves. And, you know, Mars is the god of war, of fighting. So it's like, let's go for it. Like shoot first, ask questions later. But it's in this sign of Libra. And so Mars and Libra were lovers. And so when Mars is in Libra, it's like, let's just relax. Let's go on vacay. Let's make love. Let's write poems, love poems and poetry and get together. Like when Mars and Libra are together, it's like two lovers together, right? So very self-indulgent, also very like lovely, might write love letters and stuff. Maybe a good day to write a love letter. Maybe a good day to reflect on like what we believe too. So we have the Strength card coming out for Monday. I really like that. I really like, so Strength is connected with Leo and the Sun. And it's with fortitude strength. So it's the strength of the soul, the strength of knowing who you are. So it's really reflecting on that, because a lot of times with like the Sun in Libra, I'm just going to look at this card to see what else I'm getting. A lot of times with Sun in Libra, like the focus has been on other people during this Libra season, you know, and the Sun stays in Libra for about, 4 weeks, month, whatever. But it's really been this focus on like other people and your relationships, a lot of that energy, because we have Jupiter, Saturn in Aquarius, social signs focused on society. And then we have Mercury, Mars in Libra, Mercury, Mars and the Sun in Libra, also focused on our relationships and negotiations. And so what about ourselves, like connecting with our inner self? Okay, so that's the message that I'm getting. Be gentle with ourselves, nurturing, be gentle with our inner demons. Like we have this lion here, and this woman, the fortitude, is having the courage to deal with her inner demons, you know, her lion, her wild animal self, and be okay with it. And yeah, I think it's like be gentle with ourselves, but really connecting with who we are, really taking some time to reflect. So some time in meditation, I think, would be good, right? Because also with meditation, we don't need a lot of action. And like just doing things to connect with ourselves, things that we love. So the heart, with the Strength card, we want to think of our heart, the things that we really love, and make an effort to connect with those things, and really take some time to reflect and come to terms like with who we are that day. All right, and then next we have Tuesday, October 19th. So Mercury finally goes direct at about 11:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the nice thing is, like, we were in like sleepy dreamland in the beginning of the week, and now Mercury is going direct. And Jupiter is direct as well that day. And the nice thing is, it's kind of like this nice flow from the other days, like where we were kind of dreaming, like dreamy land. We're starting to put the pieces together. We really want to put the pieces together. But I feel like it's going to be a day where we're feeling a little bit more optimistic because Venus is trining the moon. So in our environment, I think we're going to feel more like sunny, because it's in that, like, the moon is in like that sunny decan, and we're gonna feel like, I think, a lot more optimistic. That'll be super nice. So I'm gonna pull a card for a little more clarity for that day and see what's going on. Oh, I like this. Yes, we're gonna feel optimistic. I love it. And this like summarizes like the energy of that day perfectly. We have the 10 of Cups. So it's a day where we might feel like more connected with others in some way, and an ability to communicate and connect and feel like emotionally connected, and taking an action in a way that really makes everybody feel good. Taking like these, maybe there's been like more like negative energy or problems that we see, like again with like fairness and justice happening. But we're like recreating that, kind of finding a way to take action, which is pleasant, nice. It paints a beautiful picture. Looking at this card really makes us feel connected in some way. So there's this push, I think, that day on October 19th to connect with others, to connect with loved ones. Because that Venus in Sagittarius is hosting like that Mercury as it's going direct. And Jupiter is now direct too. So like the nice thing about that is like we took some time to like reflect, hopefully be creative, and just take some time to relax the couple of days before. And I don't know, now we're feeling happy and childlike and more playful that day on Tuesday, and really feeling more connected with other people. We're really in tune like with what other people need. And like we're like creating like this rainbow for other people. Like we're like conscious in our environment to like implement that Jupiter energy of like making people feel connected, making people feel great. So we might like feel in this mood of making other people laugh, making ourselves laugh, but painting this beautiful picture of what life can be. I think we're really going to feel idealistic, optimistic, and really be clearer on what our vision is like for our life. But really it's this day of like painting a bigger picture, where we're just feeling like happy and painting our lives in a picture in a way where we're feeling like really festive and lovely. Okay, and then on Wednesday, October 20th, we have a big event of the full moon in Aries. That's happening around 10:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I feel like that full moon in Aries is going to be pushing us to take some final action in an area of your life. And you'd have to look at where the house is that's falling in that new moon. So it could be in, it depends on where it is. When there's a full moon, there's an opposition between the moon and the sun. So it's this natural tension that's really being put to light, and we're really seeing an issue and like opposite sides of an issue, two like opposite aspects of our life being highlighted for us, and really dealing with it and coming to terms with those polarities in life, like those opposites in life. And Aries is like that warrior, and we have Venus, right, with the sun in Libra, and Libra is all about harmony. It's like, it's not about what I want, it's about what is going to make the situation nice in our relationships, pleasant and beautiful and fair and just, so people can get along and I don't have to deal with people fighting all day. And it's not super active. It's like, let's reflect, let's weigh things out, let's like hear what people are thinking. And so it's kind of like Mars, in opposition, like Mars, kind of arguing with the sun in Libra. Maybe they're having a little argument on the full moon. That's kind of almost how you can think of it. And Libra is like let's just like depend on other people. Let's just believe that there's fairness and justice in the world. Like, let's listen to both sides. We don't have to jump in. We don't have to like be angry and fight all the time. That's so lame, Mars. That's so lame, Moon in Aries. And that's kind of like the conversation. Like, do we really have to push forward, or can't we just like relax and enjoy our lives? But it's interesting, okay, because we have what's called partial reception, meaning that Mars is in Libra, right? And it's hosting that moon. And so there's almost like this like secret relation, not a secret relationship, but like that Mars is getting something from that moon in Aries. Like there's not completely an opposition. So it's this full moon, I think, that really wants to like harmonize, like putting our own needs forward, like fighting for ourselves and what we want. And then also being in consideration with others, wanting to smooth over conflicts. And maybe there is like a middle ground here that we can reach. And like maybe we don't have to be so harsh or exact or be so demanding of people. So let me pull a card to get more clarity for the full moon on Wednesday. Oh man, okay. So we have this Five of Cups reverse. Let me take a look at this one. I'm getting this energy of like we're going to be nurtured. This sounds weird, but going to be nurtured by reflecting on things that we have lost and reflecting on how they've helped us to grow. And also not getting stuck in our emotions, like learning how to move forward from our emotions and not get lost and stuck in them in certain ideas or certain ways of how we feel, but be able to stand tall and strong for ourselves in our relationships, like having that harmony between this is what we're passionate about, but in some ways being able to let that go so that we can learn and grow and heal and nurture ourselves and then stand tall in our relationships and have that element of we are like strong in ourselves, but also we're able to live in harmony with other people. But that does require a letting go, and that does require like not getting bogged down in our emotions, even though we are going to feel bogged down and really lost in our emotions and lost what we wanted. Like there is a cloud over our heads where we can't see clearly, but we do know intuitively that there is a way to move forward, a way to cross that bridge and that transition in our lives in relation to this full moon and being able to connect with other people and to have harmony and have it in a way that's grounded and practical and real and true. And so this full moon is asking us really not to get lost in our emotions, but set solid foundations and roots for how we can grow as like I'm getting just coming through like as a nation, as a community, as a society, like as a whole. Like we need to grow and we really need to mature. In a lot of ways, move forward, there is this element of like selfishness and only thinking about our own needs or what our people that are close to us need. It's not just ourselves, right? So people close to us need and what we think, but there is this need for maturity and moving forward in some way. And not being so emo or self-indulgent or even be in this mindset of like, I don't know, it's nihilism, like believing like everything is a lost cause because we're not getting exactly what we want. We need to be able to move forward with our emotions, not get stuck and not get lost in them, and really like ground ourselves and move forward. What we want is important, yes. However, it's not the only thing. And so that's the advice and that's the energy of keeping that full moon in mind, like what we need to know about that full moon and what that full moon is highlighting for us. After that full moon, it's like I feel like we're gonna have some difficulties, but some moment of clarity is on that Friday, October 22nd. We're going to have Mars square Pluto. And that's going to be around 5:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, so Pluto, again, it just had squared the sun earlier this week, and now it's going to square Mars. And it's really like this energy of causing death and rebirth and transformation in how we assert ourselves, or how people are asserting ourselves, or overall like the energy of how in society like we assert ourselves, and what we're seeing from other people. And there is this need to like change the way that we assert ourselves in relationship to other people, in concern to fairness and justice and what the right thing is. But this Mars is combust under the sun, which means that there's hidden elements. And so there's this like pressure from Pluto to take action in a new way, maybe to take those lessons from earlier in the week and that full moon, on what we experienced on that full moon, and really take that moving forward. But there may be like some truths coming up with action, like Pluto, puts pressure for like the truth to come up. But there's going to be this fight to not reveal that. So a lot of like hidden things on the way people are behaving. Again, with the square there, it could be taking action away that doesn't pan out the right way. It's awkward. I'm thinking more awkward versus creative. Sometimes it could be creative. More passive, like not wanting to deal with things, really difficult. A difficult type of aspect, because Mars in Libra just wants harmony. It doesn't want to deal with things in an aggressive way. But Pluto is asking it to be a little more, assertive, and really think about things and really just change the way we're doing that. Again, so accidents, like injuries, legal matters, like difficulties with legal matters, difficulties with relationships, and overall, I don't know if I mentioned this enough, but difficulties with relationships as well. And now we're really dealing with it directly, and really, really sorting it out. So it is a time where you can speak up, can take action. Things will be more clear. So the moon that day is going to, when the Mars square Pluto happens, the moon has just passed Uranus in Taurus. So it may be a day where we're really feeling liberated. It's like this crisp, clear energy that I'm getting, where we're like, whoa, everything becomes clear and we can take action and can be relieved from that fog of not knowing what to do. But again, we might not be completely clear on all the details. So like my worry is looking at these charts and things that are happening is that sometimes like we're being pushed to take action and like assert ourselves, but for the wrong, like we don't have all of the information to take action. So there's a lot of hiddenness. Yeah, okay, so I had two cards jump out at me and I had to go grab them for Friday. So yeah, so we have big changes going on Friday, and maybe that's like that Pluto push. So I got the Empress came out, card of Venus. So like this first, right, this energy of caring and nurturing our relationships, caring for other people, and like having this really lovely energy. So the moon, even our environment, is going to be in this like in Taurus, and yeah, it's like that really like beautiful Venusian environment, maybe like eating like good food and keeping people like, again, connecting with our friends, nurturing the people around us, and really creating a lovely environment. Trying to do that. And then we have the world's reverse. So this one is the one where I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So we have to be careful of this. Maybe like this energy of not dealing with life as it is, not accepting life as it is on that Friday with Mars square Pluto. Like we really want something different. We really want to see a change in the world, and a harmonious one. Something where we have a world that's more lovely, and just and beautiful, and where we feel more connected with other people, more connected and together. But there's this element of we're not really dealing with reality. Like we're maybe not seeing reality because we don't want to. Like we don't really want to deal with life as it is. Like we're really tired, really run down with the way things are, and we really could use a change. Um, but the problem is, like, if you're not dealing with life on life's terms, where you have where you're grounded in ideas, and not grounded on the earth, and growing things, and really also embracing the things that um, are given to you. So there's been a lot of growth, a lot of like fertile energy that's happened over like this past year and a half, 2 years. A lot of things have grown from that. A lot of beautiful things have grown from that. And we have to really see that and see the big picture, and how it all ties together. And it's like that Jupiter direct in Aquarius is going to help us a little bit with that. And also being grounded, also like because Saturn in Aquarius, it's strong. So really feeling more grounded. But I think, you know, one of the things we need to know, like for that Friday and that Mars square Pluto, is that the change has been happening regardless. Like look around, look inside you. Like, and we had this like strength energy earlier, connecting with ourselves, like this big theme of connecting with our souls and ourselves. And so, you know, circumstances have forced us to isolate more and stay more of our by ourselves. And now, depending where you are, you can socialize more. Things are getting a little like more back to normal, you know, than they were. Um, but you know, I hear all the time like how people have really connected with themselves, really feel more um, you know, people really feel more like they took time to like meditate or have hobbies, like things they enjoy. They spent more time in recreation, which is this Empress energy, and really getting to know themselves, know they want what they want, and really being able to change direction in their lives if something wasn't working. And really even being able to reflect on like this bigger picture of life, and what it all means, like what we're all here for and what's really important. That was a thing, what's really important. And a lot of times I'm hearing people either are focused on like their loved ones, their family, their children, how spending quality time with them and even spending time being creative or in leisure or recreation, which is very much the Empress and Venus energy, was like super important and super nurturing for the soul. And that even in jobs, like we're not like commuting anymore, and people are like, I want to stay home, I want to relax, I don't want to have such like a formal thing of like this go go go, like we're going too much, we need to relax. And it's like we were forced to relax, and so much like was birthed out of that. And we need to remember like the beauty of what has happened and really ground ourselves like in the world. um that the things that have actually happened have helped us, like if we choose to like be optimistic about it, you know, have the Venus and Sagittarius, that it was all a valuable experience, and that everything is that's happening is a valuable experience. So really, you know, Friday, it's really like taking life on life's terms. Don't forget all of the beautiful things that have grown out of this time. It's almost like we had this like forced retreat to be away, with ourselves and to reflect on life and really reconnect with ourselves. Um, and I'm just feeling this energy of it's practical to bring that forward. Like it's practical, like when we're talking about change in our life, to bring like the wisdom that we learned when we had time off, and really think about the way, like the way that we work, you know, how we connect with our people, how we connect with ourselves. Do we really need to go, go, go? Do we really need like progress all of the time? Or is like mindful time, spending time with ourselves, spending time with loved ones really more important? And that's just some of the things that were brought up. So I don't know what the insights were for you during these times where like we've been away and kind of with ourselves and time to think for ourselves. Even that self-love, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't hate myself so much, like I spend time with myself, I don't hate myself anymore. So how can you bring that forward, and that wisdom into the world? And that is very practical and grounded and dealing with reality. So I feel like that Mars square Pluto is giving us that advice and that energy. Okay, and last but not least, on Saturday, October 23rd, we're going into Scorpio season. So we have the sun ingressing into Scorpio at about 12:51 a.m., just after midnight Eastern Standard Time. And this is beautiful, and this will also like provide some relief to us because the sun in Libra is in its detriment. It really has trouble expressing itself and really like being comfortable with like, you know, shining our spotlight bright, right? Because we're always thinking about other people and like harmonizing things with other people in our relationships. But now it's in Scorpio. So that changes up the game. Now we still have Mars in Libra hosting that sun in Scorpio. So it still might have that flavor of considering our relationships and other people, like when we take action. But it's like Sun in Scorpio is really like this energy of living life to the fullest, living life intensely, having some awareness of death, or having some awareness of our limitations. Also, really connecting with our emotions, like our deep emotions, and really like getting down and dirty in them and really like I feel like it's like life to the fullest and like sees what they're made of, sees how far they can go and what they can do. So what's nice is like that's pretty much it that day. It's like the sun in Scorpio. Oh, also when signs are ingressing, we might feel some tension. So that Mars and Libra, that sun in Libra, like that the day before, like Friday, maybe even the day before that, can really feel this like intensity. It's like the sun in Libra to the max, or any planet when it gets to the last degrees of its sign is like, it's been described like from my teacher, as like on steroids. Like it's intense, like it wants to like get its message across before it kind of makes that transition, almost dies, you know, to the other sign, right? Before it leaves Libra, it wants to let us know. So it might have been really intense with like putting other people's needs before you're trying to harmonize relationships, trying to get legal matters resolved, like negotiations, relationship issues, like harmonizing them resolved. But now it's in Scorpio, so that tension should be relieved a little bit. So I pulled a card. So we have the Two of Cups reversed. Let me see what I'm getting from that, this dance of life. What I'm getting from this card is there's going to be a very mischievous energy in terms of our relationship, our assertiveness, a more playful energy in the way that we connect with other people. And we may have to cheer people up. There may be people feeling down, like out of sorts, not really liking what we do, feeling like we're being selfish. That's what I'm getting from this card. Don't know why these messages come up the way they do, but that's it. And just they're feeling like our purity of intention maybe is not so clear. And so that's something we can also be seeing like in our society is like, are we really getting a good deal on things and in our relationships, and having our loved ones maybe not like feeling like the best. Maybe there's this like our bad side is coming out with the sun in Scorpio, which would make total sense. All right, so I'm going to get into the weekly advice and reading for the week. So let's do it. All right, so I'm just going to pull a card just to summarize. You know, it's like I talk so much and I say a lot like for the transits during the week, but I want to get a card just to summarize the week and see like what the energy is all about. Okay, so we have the King of Swords reversed like as this energy. I mean, yeah, I feel like this week is going to be intense. The energy is going to be thick. It's not going to be like super clear. We're going to feel, yes, like the fog. So I'm seeing like these clouds come down, like from the King of Swords, a lot of foggy energy on our head. Really trying to ground ourselves, but not really being able to, and not really getting clear communication, clear, you know, like a clear vision, and we want to ground and root ourselves and be passionate about things, but we're not going to be able to. So about this King of Swords, the like we're not going to see people clearly. Like there's going to be people in our lives So this is like Sun in Libra. We were talking about like father figures, leaders, bosses, our spouses. Um, we're gonna feel like they're really mysterious and we can't really see them clearly. It's like this energy of like we can't really see the people in front of us like super clearly and what they're doing. And so it's going to be very confusing with the people in our lives and our relationships and maybe our leaders, our bosses, spouses, other father figures or, male figures, masculine figures in our life with communication. It's just going to be very confusing with other people. Maybe not the best for our relationships. Um, and so just like a lot of confusion moving forward. So I want to get some advice like for this week on how to deal with that and how to deal with our relationships. And with so much of that Libra energy, and then we have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. We have so much in signs that have to do like with our relationships. Oh, hey, we've got another person. We've got a lot of, yes, dealing with relationships. We have another person card. We have the Queen of Cups. So advice. Ooh, so like finding someone who is nurturing. So I mentioned like keeping people close to you that are like being around people that are super close to you, that you trust, that are like close friends of yours or close family members, but people with like wise advice, like that counsel you, kind of like the people you can go to like for advice. And this could be in the media too. Like that's the thing. The King of Swords can be someone not clear in the media, definitely the media as well with communication. But this is like going to someone for advice, really watching our environment like a hawk, really not letting people in that we don't know super closely, like is the message that I'm getting from somebody. Like being around someone who's going to be protective of you, like nurturing of you, is not going to let you out of your sight or let you fall into like being disillusioned or like losing hope. I feel like this week we're really going to have to rely on other people. Like this is really like, so relying on like, this is like a female figure, motherly figure, mother or somebody who is like a mother to you, someone who nurtures you, makes sure you're fed and loved and tended to and cared for. The advice is to rely on that person, call on that person, and connect with them in some way. And even if it's somebody you just like watch on TV, like if you don't have that motherly figure, but somebody that you watch like, on TV or the media, YouTube, like someone really that you can rely on for like nurturing. We really want to bring in that nurturing, like motherly, like caretaker energy for us, to really like help us manage this like harsher energy from this like father figure. We want to like run under the clothes of a mother figure, like to help us feel loved and nurtured, because we may not be able to feel that with like Jupiter stationing earlier this week. It may be difficult, and really going to that person for advice, but really not so much advice, really like emotional, more emotional nurturing, because again like information is not going to be clear, but love is always clear, and so I'm pulling a card for the final advice for this week. I like this. I like this. We have the Ace of Pentacles as the final outcome. And so it's like this ray of sunshine, seeing this bright pentacle come out here, like the sun, and seeing this garden behind here, like this fertile garden. And this bright ray of sun, like on this hand, it's like there's this bright, like sunny rays coming out of that. And so the outcome of this week is going to be a new hope, a new idea, but something that can be grounded, and something that's pure, like a thought that is pure, and a vision like that is pure, and really seeing like a practical way forward and really being in the early stages of that. So like the Ace of Pentacles is like a fertile plan, like a practical plan or action, and this could be an idea for it, right? It has to come from an idea like this cloud, right? And coming from some wisdom, So we're going to see the way forward in a practical way, in a hopeful way, and just taking that advice to, or that energy of really being grateful for the lessons that we learned and now trying to put some ground in it. So, we had time to reflect with that Mercury retrograde period, and even with Jupiter retrograde, I didn't get into that so much, but Jupiter retrograde and Saturn retrograde. So Jupiter helps us to think of like where we see connections, where we find faith. How do we make things that don't really go our way? How do we like turn those things around and really find a bigger picture thing to fight for? Finding that faith in that and meaning in that everything's connected in some way, and finding out what your belief is or what your truth is for how you think things are connected on a spiritual level. And then Saturn is also like, well, how do we implement this like in a practical, more grounded type of way? Like, how do we solidify our ideas and plans? So we had a lot of time to reflect, and now we have this little ray of hope coming out on how to move forward after this fog has been lifted, and really feeling hopeful moving forward. So even though we don't have like the clearest, let's hold these up for you. Even though we don't have like the clearest information from people, there is love in the world, and there's people providing love, and there still is hope for grounding things in a practical way that's going to be fertile. And perhaps it would be outcome ideas for making money, or like writing that book you always wanted to write, or doing that creative project, maybe actually growing a garden for real, or something that you want to do like as a parent or in your relationship, setting foundations for like a home or something you want to see in society or business, or it could be so many things, or it could deal with money, but it could just be dealing with creating a life that feels like abundant and fertile in some way and really nourishing to you. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you have an amazing week. Remember to take it easy on yourself, nurture yourself. Don't worry about taking action. Everything will make itself clear when it needs to be clear, and you'll know what you need to do when you need to know. You just have to trust that. All right, guys, I love you so, 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 so much. And have a great week. I'll leave probably some videos for you guys to watch somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Oh, also a reminder that if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video. And I think I'll put some videos over here that I think you might like to watch next when you're in sleepy dreamland and you have time to binge on YouTube.